Welcome back to another episode of You Asked For It, the show where you asked for it. You send us questions and we talk about them. And we'll tell you right off the bat here, if you want to send in a question for us to mull over and talk about, you can do that a few different ways. One of them being through email, contact@accesschurchonline.org, or just comment on this video. That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for like the incredibly personal question that I just do not feel comfortable answering and just...
What question would you not feel
I don't
comfortable
know.
with?
I mean, I can't.
He's waiting to hear it.
I'm waiting to hear if there's something
he's waiting
that I
for
don't
it to
feel
come up.
comfortable sharing. I don't know.
Okay.
Or answering a question.
Anyway, one other way you can send us a Facebook message, Access Church, that works out too. But I have a question today.
Snap.
Based off of a conversation I had with somebody.
Okay.
Names will remain nameless.
It was Levin and Levine.
It was Levin Messeltine.
Weird.
Okay, anyway, so I was talking with an individual, and they brought something up that, I mean, it was quick in conversation, but it was along the lines of, and this is all church related, okay? We talk about the things that we want people to do at church, you know, give, volunteer, blah, blah, blah. All right. It was along the lines of they were talking about volunteering at church, and it slipped out that they view their volunteering as their giving to a church. Now, we talk about, you know, there's financial giving and there's volunteering. So they were lumping both into the same. Mm-hmm. So my question is kind of, is there something wrong with that thought process, and what is wrong with it?
I want to, but you go ahead.
I want to.
I would say, so 2 weeks ago, we did a message, Mission Maintenance, where I talked about serving first, and then I said giving. And the impression I get from a lot of Christians is, well, I can serve and not give, and like somehow that's okay, especially if
or reverse it.
Especially if people, you know, serve a lot or whatever, you know, whatever.
Well,
a lot
I give
is in
so
their
I don't
mind.
have to volunteer. Mm-hmm. Well, I volunteer so I don't have to give. Yeah.
I think the reverse. If I give, I think there is one specific instance where you can say my giving is my serving. One very specific, and that is, I think, if you have the spiritual gift of giving. Oh. Not just like tithing, not just like, oh, this is $20 extra, but like you feel from God, he has blessed you, and you give over and above, like you intentionally sacrifice in your giving because you feel like that's what God has called you to do. I think in that specific case, you can look at that, and I think I could prove it from scriptures too, that, you know, I could get behind that. I think that probably could be, I'd want to have lots of conversations. This is not like a jump, but I think I could be okay with that.
Okay, before we move on from that, what steps would you want somebody to take if they feel that they're being called as their gift is giving? Rather than just saying, oh, no, this is the way I serve, is I give more.
This might be incredibly uncomfortable for some of you to hear, but I would want to see how much they're giving. I want to see their yearly income. I want to hear their story into why they feel this. I want to see them giving in different ways. Like I want some proof, because that's a pretty big claim that you're going to use that to justify not doing something else. Yeah. So I'd want to see some hard evidence for that. But I don't think the reverse is true. I do not believe that if you serve, you don't have to give. Absolutely not. So in that one instance, I think that could be true.
Okay.
I would agree, and what you said is very uncomfortable, but we believe that 10% is just the Old Testament principle as a standard of 10% is what is given to God, as it represents everything. Mm-hmm. So it's not a you have to, but it's just an overarching principle of 10%. So if somebody actually felt like, I'm called to serve in this area of giving, This is my service. I am service because maybe I'm out of town most of the time, or I'm just because of my job. And somebody that has giving probably spends more time working than other people. That's not for sure, but I would agree with Shaheen in the fact that, well, if it's just you're just giving 10% like just everybody else, that certainly isn't an act of giving. That's an act of acknowledging I surrender and believe God, everything belongs to God. He's first. I would suggest, that somebody would be giving 20, 30% of their income
or more
if they were really called to this is my service.
Yeah.
But when you turn it around and you said I don't think it's the only time I would think that it's your serving is giving is if you don't have a job. It's almost like how the Apostle Paul addresses Timothy about widows in the church and things like that. That if they're not working, they don't have other relationships, they don't have other family, and they spend all of their time actually serving in the church, like a full-time job serving in the church, and they don't have a job or income, that'd be different. Now, in this culture, I don't know what that would look like.
Pretty hard to have no
Pretty
income.
hard to have no income. But remember...
That, to be truthful, though, that is correct. There could be a one situation...
Yeah. Certainly, neither one of those perspectives are going to be the norm at all, and I think for the most time, we just want to excuse, one for the other. We really do. This thing comes to my mind all the time, and that is this. When you first asked the question, I thought, well, what if everybody did that? What if everybody just gave? Well, we would have no mortgage and nobody to open the front doors. The place would stink. We just can't go there.
Or what if everybody just served?
Yeah, or the reverse.
Have a building.
We're all serving, but we're outside and it's very cold. Very cold.
Would you like to have met outside on Sunday?
No days. Okay, too hot in the summer, too cold in the winter.
There's about 2 days a year I like being outside,
and they're both in October.
But here's the point: it's not really Shaheen saying this for this church. This is a principle of the apostles starting the Church of Jesus Christ. Everybody is to give. Everybody is to use their gift and serve. Now, if their gift is giving, fine. But everybody has a gift. Everybody needs to serve. Everybody needs to give. And it really comes down to not marking, well, am I doing this? Am I doing this? It really comes from this. Is building the kingdom of God what drives our life? Yeah. Because when it is, we're going to put that first in our schedule, our talents, our finances, our conversations. You broke down the list of those 5 things. Really, those are the things in our life that we do every day. Now, what are we going to do them for? What is our number one passion? Is building the church, and so I love that, when people say, well, how much or who, I think this.
If you're asking that question, you're already wrong.
It doesn't mean you can't have a cabin and you can't go on vacation. That's not the thing. You know what? Never has Shaheen suggested giving all, serving all the time. It's first. That's the principle here.
Yeah, just first.
It's first. Like, okay, I got this much money. God's first. I got this much time. I schedule in, my service first. And then I fill in everything else afterwards.
Well, and you're not the one wwho invented that.
Right.
It's
yeah, wasn't my idea.
Like, if you get paid, give to God first. If you got time, serve first.
Right. Yeah, they're completely separate issues. And I always view it, I hear it 2 ways in my head. One way is, well, I put oil in my car. I shouldn't have to put gas in it.
Yeah.
They're 2 different things.
Okay.
They're 2 different things.
Good luck.
They serve 2 different purposes,
Yeah.
And the other one is an old joke from a stand-up comic. It's not fair that the people ask you if you do something like this, it's close to the other. Oh, you can cook. Can you farm?
Yeah.
No, it's 2 separate things,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I view it in my head.
So if we subtract the statistically speaking rare scenario of someone's gift being giving, people should be doing both. If we go back to that person that said, well, I volunteer as my giving.
Yeah. Nope.
Red flag doesn't work.
Yep. Very, very rare is that true.
let's ask ourselves the question, and you don't have to tell anybody else, but be honest with yourself. What good is it to not be honest with yourself? I don't understand that. Be honest with yourself and ask, why, if I don't want to give, why is it I don't want to give? Is it because I don't trust God enough to meet my needs? Is it because I desire other things more than God? You know, that, hey, a new motorcycle is going to please me more than God can. We got to be honest with ourselves. And I don't want to serve because, well, I don't have time. I only got a limited amount of spare time that I'm not working. I want to spend that on myself. And you know what? We really need to come to an honest look at ourselves before God and be honest with God. God, I could serve, but I only got so much free time, and I'd rather, it's great to hear yourself say that to God. God, I'd rather go boating than serve you. It's just good to be honest. And you know what? Maybe that's where you're at, but until we're honest with it, God can't work in our lives.
I think even to go another step further than that, you and I had a conversation with some people a few weeks ago, and they want to know more. They want some other things, right? And so I just challenged them, well, why do you only give 1 hour on a Sunday?
Right.
Like, why do you work 12 hours a day?
Yeah.
You know? Why do you, and like for all of us, as you're asking that question, well, it might not be, well, I just want to go to the cabin. Well, no, I got to work a second job. Well, why?
Why?
Because I have to drive a new truck and because I have to all these, but why? Who says you have to work 2 jobs? Who says you have to do all these? Who says your kids have to be in 18 different sports every single month? Like, why? Is God first or is he not?
Right.
Yeah.
Something King David said was a gutsy prayer, but I love it. And that is, Father, search my heart. You know, reveal to me anything that's just not right.
That's like that praying for patience sort of thing.
Well, it starts
Be careful.
there. Doesn't it start with being honest? And if God reveals something to you and you say, but I'm not there yet. Well, you're on your way by being honest.
Yeah.
And let's have this conversation with God and being honest. Father, I just like new things, and so I'm going to work and put you second. Okay, as long as you know, I know you know that, let's start there.
I think God can work with that.
I do.
More than fooling ourselves.
We fool ourselves. We give ourselves lies. We start to believe them, and we think we're okay with God. Like, let's just be honest with God. Why don't I want to serve? Why don't I want to give? I'm just too selfish. Okay, Father, I'm too selfish. And he'll say, yeah, I know.
You are correct.
Well, now we both know. So let's go from here.
And if you want that to be different, then you're going to have to do something.
You're going to have to do something, but I'll stay open. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, he answered my question.
There you go.
Hopefully that helped for anybody else who maybe had the same question. So send something in for next week that will make Shaheen cringe. That'd probably be the best. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back. Adios.